Go back round to the top of the list then. Back to you, Roger. G0AOZ from JDVK in the group.
Was there somebody else you wanted to bring in, Dave?
Oh, yeah. Was it Matthew? Did you call in? No, I'm absolutely certain I heard somebody else call in. JDVK, listening for anybody else? No, nothing heard. Thanks, Roger.
Okay, G8DVK, G0AOZ returning. Good afternoon to Nathan. Good to hear you on, and good to hear you at the weekend. And sorry I didn't manage to find you much during the day, but at least we had a brief chat first thing in the morning, didn't we? And anyway, glad it all worked out well for you on the day, and I'm wondering whether that will result in a few more of the youngsters becoming interested enough to perhaps take up a license at some point in time. That would be really good if that resulted in that happening. But you'll know what the score is more on that later perhaps. But Jeff, good afternoon to you. I'm not sure if I gave you a report. You're 5 and 9. Your report, and Nathan, you're 5 and 9 as well. Jeff, as regards the other stations on 60 metres, I think there were air cadets who were allowed to operate on that frequency, and they were having an exercise called Blue Band, I think, or something, and they were using MR call signs with the prefix MR, I think. There were quite a few of them on, I think, so that was quite interesting to hear what they had to say. But I think they were just doing it as a training exercise, I think. But they were allowed to speak to other stations like radio amateurs, and I understand we were allowed to speak to them. So that's what that was all about, I think. But there we are. Right, okay. Fine on Jeff up in Manchester there, and Dave, I had a look at the map as well, and I couldn't see any signs of lightning up in that neck of the woods, but as you say, it could well be sheet lightning that perhaps was being experienced up or near the Manchester area. Certainly there were a few lightning strikes near Buckingham, I think, at one point on my map, but they seem to have disappeared now. Still a few off Land's End at the moment, and East Anglia has quite a few, I think, but not anything that I can hear at the moment. But I did hear a few lightning strikes, particularly the ones that were going off in and around the London area, I believe. Right, okay, Dave, I'll pop it back to you. I'm not sure whether you want to make this one a final or not. I've got a few things to do this afternoon, so I'll perhaps make this one my final. I'll say 73 to one and all. Dave, thank you very much indeed for running the net this afternoon. Sorry I couldn't make it last Wednesday, but I wasn't particularly up to it, and but glad to say that that's all passed and everything is fine and dandy again. Okay, Dave, back to you, and I'll just listen now. G8DVK, G0AOZ, 73.
Yes, okay, Roger. G0AOZ from G8DVK in the Harwell Amateur Radio Society's Midweek Club Net. Okay, fully understand. Yes, well, we'd spoken on Friday, so I gathered that you'd got over the effects of the injection, and fully understand, of course, that if people aren't well, we don't join in. But I'm glad everything's all right now anyway. So, many thanks for joining the net this afternoon, and I wish you 7-3, and of course regards to Carol, and we'll probably hear you on Friday evening, all being well. And just a quick comment on getting candidates from the Jota weekend. That's a good idea, because we've just cancelled the foundation course that was supposed to be running this coming weekend, just due to lack of candidates. And it's looking very much like that even for the foundation course now, that we're just not getting the number of candidates to make it worth running. When I say that, we've sort of drawn the line and said, well, if it's a minimum of 3, okay, that's what we'll do, because some of the tutors like Richard and Jim were giving up most of the weekend, and you've really got to make it worthwhile to do. So we really said, well, let's have a minimum of 3 candidates to make it worthwhile. But to be quite honest with you, 6 would be much better, or even 8. You feel then you're achieving something with the time that you're giving. Anyway, yes, and you're quite right, Roger. I'm pretty sure that was Air Cadets on 60 metres. So that'd be interesting to hear the comments of what they were talking about when we get back round to Jeff. Okay, round to you, Hamish. G0GLG from G8DDK in the group.